And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals, los grand finales here of the PiGosaur Cup number 40. Again, it's been a pretty short broadcast, to be honest. It's been a pretty short broadcast, just a lot of really short games. You know, we do get. That's what I'm looking for. We get spoiled. We get spoiled by Astrea's TvPs, you know, hour-long games, 2-hour-long series that we've seen in the past couple of weeks. But that was avoided here this week. Astrea, he got knocked out earlier on, and now we have a TvP between two very different kind of players. And we're here to determine our champion. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the ley lines, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the Danish Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 5. Coming into this, I do expect a back and forth between our two players here. I do believe that MaxPax is favored to claim this series, but ByuN does have it in him here to take maps and to take series, and we'll see who is in form. Who's in form here? ByuN has been on the grind, by the way. ByuN has been playing in everything, in almost all online tournaments. ByuN has been on that grind. We spoke about this, but we have different players taking different approaches to improving or to getting ready for Esports World Cup. There are some players that have been preserving builds and hiding their play and who have been inactive. I see a lot of people who have been hyping up Classic as of late, and I feel like a big part of that as well is that Hero has not been playing in anywhere near as much as he typically does, right? Hero, he's been missing out on What TV Mondays, on PiGosaur Cups as well, on other online tournaments. Like Hero, he has been keeping to himself. The same thing happened last year, for example. Other players, of course, that are a lot more kind of akin to that. Maru, several other players have been kind of preserving their play, but there are others that have been playing more, like ByuN. ByuN, he's been ramping up his competitive nature and his participation quite heavily. Rainer as well. Rainer, he's been playing a lot more than usual now that he's in Korea. He's been competing a lot more specifically in online tournaments than he typically does. So there are some players that do just grind that much harder. There are others that do hide builds. I mentioned before that ByuN, I feel like one of the reasons why he plays in everything and why he has been competing in more as of late is because he is very mechanical based. Like, he's very much so when it comes to his unit control, when it comes to his micro, when it comes to his mechanics, that is where he does thrive. So he has a little bit less to hide when it comes to his build of choice. And we'll see what form he's going to be looking as he does get into EWC. As ByuN's been getting some really good results as of late. Some really good results. Behind this, though, it was a double gas opener, Faster Factory, going to his 1-1-1. Interesting that he does not go for an early tech lab. We have a Reaper Hellion opener instead. This is rarely seen nowadays, as he does get spotted, and he will catch out the first two adepts. One adept does go down, now going for the other. The Hellion, does pull away. Does pull away in time, and with that the adept will attempt to escape. Behind this MaxPax, he has to fully wall up. Again, Reaper Hellion like this is designed to get economic damage. It's designed to get into mineral lines and to roast up some probes, and that's why we have a full wall here from MaxPax. He fully walls off. ByuN, meanwhile, does miss the adept. It does finally go down. But again, we have a full wall just to make sure that MaxPax is secure. Adepts are cleaned up, and that means that MaxPax, he does not scout the main base. He doesn't see what's going on. It is going to be Reaper Hellion into Cloak Banshee. Oh boy. So that's the plus side here of this build of ByuN, is that on the one hand, he gains map control, so he can hide his tech. On the other hand, he won't be able to get much damage done. Like MaxPax, he sees it ahead of time. He's ready back at home. He's fully walling up, but he fails to scout. That's what's important here. ByuN does look for a way in. Once again, just containing his opponent. Just building up his Banshees. The first Banshee does move out. We have a second Banshee on the way. And as ByuN moves out, how many gateways are we on here? We have one gateway in the low ground, so 2 gate blink out of MaxPax going into his third base. Does go for the prism, does move out. With this MaxPax, he can contain his opponent, but this also means he has that much less to defend. Back at home, what do we have? Nothing in the main, and, ooh, okay, 3 stalkers at the natural. He does have an observer. The observer's out on the map, now turning back around. Probes are going to be going down. At the same time, MaxPax does dive in. Picks up a couple of SCVs. 4 SCV kills. Nice damage here from MaxPax. Takes down 4 workers. See, as we just see MaxPax poke in, does lose one of his stalkers. Pulls away. Pulls away. At least he scouts the move out. He's going to be able to slow it down. It's a very ByuN move out as well. Remember, he has no stim. Stim only just now begins. But he's going to be threatening MaxPax nonetheless. Banshees into the natural. They can one-shot probes. Okay, 1, 2 more probes go down. Banshee's still very healthy. ByuN does scout the third. MaxPax setting up for the surround. Yeah, coming from behind, does have the tanks, and ByuN should not be out here. Yeah, losing one of these tanks already, and we'll lose the other. Yeah, we're coming for the surround. The Immortal comes from behind, takes out both tanks, and ByuN is being shot down. Also step forward, but loses both tanks. With that, the push has ended. Again, I was assuming that ByuN was only moving out to deter, to posture, but no, he went a little bit further than that, and did pay the price for it. So even though we have this strong timing ahead of us, now ByuN has that much less to work with. As he lost 2 tanks. So ByuN is going to be forced back. MaxPax has gained map control. Now going for the third base. Does spot it. And is hoping to force a cancel. Will delay. Will delay the expansion. Nice force fields. There's a cancellation. Ay, ay, ay. MaxPax is just all over ByuN. The Banshees have not done enough. Now going back in. Better damage. 4 probe kills. I say 4, getting up to 6. 7. 7 workers going down, going for another flyby here in the main. 8, 9, 10 probe kills. The Banshees, they're popping up. 13. 13? Jesus. 13 workers. Banshees, they get away. Scan in towards the third. ByuN, does he have enough to break through? Banshees, they pull back. 16 probe kills. Much better damage here from ByuN. Now he's stimming in. Remember, he has stim. The Prism! Oh! Prism is under fire. Does survive. But the army does stim in, and he overwhelms ByuN. He has done it. He has broken through. Takes out the Zealots, takes out the Stalkers. The Prism goes down. Cannot juggle. Takes down the Immortal as well. And ByuN, he has broken MaxPax. A very intense back and forth. MaxPax, he had a stronger early game, but ByuN with a stronger mid game. GG. ByuN takes the lead. Takes game number 1. Whew, GG, well played again. A really rough start by ByuN, losing 2 tanks, losing momentum, losing his Marines, and losing his third. Remember, he lost his third. Remember, his third base was cancelled as well. There was so much going wrong for ByuN, but what went right for him? The Banshees. Those Banshees, they didn't just kill 16 probes, which is a full mineral line, by the way, but they were also distracting MaxPax. They were actually forcing the Stalkers into the natural, into the main base, back and forth. MaxPax, despite losing all those workers, his entire attention was on that Banshee defense, so he wasn't able to set up at the third base, he wasn't able to slow down the main army, wasn't able to protect the third, and everything just snowballed from there. Whew, GG. GG, well played. A very intense game 1, and ByuN takes a lead. Let's go. Let us go. So we're getting into that next game. And we'll see if MaxPax can bounce back as we are getting into torches. Okay, torches for game number 2. As you mentioned, torches, we do see it more and more often in these best of 5s as there are less vetoes available. We saw it earlier in the semis, now we're seeing it here in the grand finals as well. Torches has a shorter rush distance by air, shorter rush distance by, there's it's its own map. We can there's gold bases, short rush distances, aggression is favored here. We do see some Stargate play from time to time on this map, so that's going to be a tempting kind of opener here for MaxPax. We'll see how our players do open up. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Torches, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shanghai Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. See, I'm surprised to see ByuN playing with this, with EWC so close. As we mentioned, I mean, I think that comment was posted before we did talk about it, but again, ByuN, he is the kind of player that grinds and plays and everything, and again, like, his approach to preparation for EWC is different than others. Some players are more concerned with hiding builds, ByuN is not. Like, ByuN is not concerned about that. There are other players that are quite similar to ByuN in that sense, as well, that just play in everything. As I mentioned before, like Raynor, he's been playing in more. He has been playing in more online tournaments, so now there's more information about Raynor out there than previously. Players like Clem, true, Clem as well. He's also still active, not here just because he's in Korea, but he does still play in the Water TV Mondays on that regular basis. Classic as well. Classic has also been playing a lot more. And the other big grinder, actually more than the others, is Showtime. If you've been watching online tournaments recently, you would know that Showtime has been playing in everything, almost as much as ByuN. Showtime, he doesn't play in the NA weeklies like this, but he was playing in CSO Cup, he's been playing in Sparkling Tuna Cups, Water TV Mondays. Like, Showtime has been very active. More than he was at the start of the year. So again, different players, different approaches in regards to how they prepare. Showtime has been grinding like used to. Yeah, like Showtime has been playing a lot. He's the one that stood out to me just because we cast everything. But over the past like 2 months, like Showtime, I want to say it might be even more, I think he's even more active than like MaxPax and Clem currently when it comes to like just how many tournaments he's been playing in as of late, or at least comparable, right? Enough to be noticed. Enough to be noticed. Meanwhile, Double Gas opening here out of ByuN, going for a Rax into Factory. We saw that last game he went Reacted Reaper Hellion. This time he's going for an early Widowmine for a Widowmine drop initially, but the follow-up is what I'm most curious by. Hallucination moves in, MaxPax, he will check the opener, he will scout, he will confirm. Another reason why, I mean, you do have to rely a little bit more on hallucinations here is it can be more difficult to actually get your ground scout off on Torches. Hallucination does confirm, does get eyes on the Widowmine drop. Tech Lab on the Factory is aware this can lead into an add-on swap, so again, we're going to be seeing it. We're going to be needing another Hallucination after this. As MaxPax is going for a Twilight Council opener. Twilight Council into Blink. We have 3 gates in total. We should be seeing a Robo before Expand as well. Again, welcome to Torches. Torches has a shorter rush distance by air, has the goal base, just shorter rush distance by ground. Like this, there's just a lot of quirks here to the map that does kind of favor aggressive play, which I want to say is going to favor ByuN. Oh, has no Blink. He does face check up the ramp. Blink is not done. Bleeding out a Stalker already. Ay, ay, ay. Very nice start here by ByuN, takes down a Stalker, dives into the main base, but alas, MaxPax is in position. He does follow the drop. Back at home, Tech Lab on the starport, but is not going Banshee, is going tank into Raven. So early tank production here by ByuN. Meanwhile, MaxPax taking his third base. That is a third before Robo. So greedy play here by MaxPax. Widowmine does borrow. Shot goes off, gets 2 probes, and even saves the Widowmine. Yeah, hopping up here by ByuN, does get away. Remember, Blink is not yet complete. Nice damage, but again, MaxPax is being greedy. winding it back, when I say greed, this is a third base before Robo. Like, typically nowadays, when it comes to standard play, we see a Robo first for safer play, but because of the Who's Nation, MaxPax did confirm he didn't need to rush into observers, didn't need to rush into anything too crazy. Likewise, he opted not to be aggressive with a Prism early on either. He opted for a faster base instead. Now, when it comes to the base, it is faster, true, so we're going to have a greater economy, but it's an exposed expansion. Here, this low ground base can be very difficult to defend. As it's on the low ground, it's out in the open. You can, I mean, there's multiple angles of attack. You'd even get a full 360 surround on this base as well. So a bold base by MaxPax is what I will say. So it's a bold expansion. Oh, Raven is deflected. Almost goes down. Nice positioning here from MaxPax. Behind this, ByuN getting into stim. Cutting tank production early. Okay. Only 2 tanks. Again, typically, previously we saw him committing into additional tanks for a more committed move out, but here only 2 tanks, then goes to the add-on swap. This tells us that ByuN most likely, I'm expecting a 3rd CC. He's got +1 on the way, stim, combat shields. He should still be moving out with this upgrade timing, but I'm leaning more towards ByuN expand. And we'll see. As ByuN does dip in. Threatens the mineral line, gets 1 probe, gets 1, can he get 2? Oh, not quite. Barely not. Just gets 1. Behind this, going for the Bay, going for Colossus, not going into Storm. So going for a Colossus follow-up. Charge as well. I want to say delayed Forge. Do we have a... Okay. Forge is done, but yeah, delayed Forge, delayed +1. So much more tech-heavy follow-up here with the faster Colossus. It is much more standard nowadays to go into faster charge and faster upgrades into a more gateway heavy style. That is not the case here for MaxPax. So faster Bay, faster Colossus. ByuN moves out. Getting caught out there. Ooh, the medevac does survive, and Stalkers, they get punished. Meanwhile, drop here into the mineral line. MaxPax out of position, does force a recall back home. And again, this base is exposed. We spoke about it. We spoke how difficult it is to save this low ground expansion. And here comes ByuN. Takes down the shield battery. No more shield batteries. No more defensive setup. Tanks do siege within range of the Nexus. And MaxPax is in trouble here. Yeah, he is in trouble. Zealot's going down. Tank fires here on the Stalkers. Ooh, massive volleys going up. And this base may just be broken. Takes out every single Stalker. Ay. Again, I don't blame MaxPax. It's just this base is so difficult to defend. On top of that, the drop did distract. Zealot's a breakthrough though. Takes out all the tanks. MaxPax, he holds. Whew, he does hold on. He saves the expansion. Did cost him 14 probes, as probes are still going down, by the way. So 14 workers go down, but MaxPax survives. Whew. Okay. MaxPax, he does survive. Still in our position. The medevac, does get sniped, but at a cost of every single Stalker. Once again, gets punished. The punish is real, and ByuN, he still has momentum. He still has momentum. Sure, MaxPax, he survives. Sure, he has a Colossus, but ByuN is not stopping. And ByuN did get a 3rd. We spoke about it, right? We spoke about the later Raxes. We spoke about the build of choice. So earlier 3rd base out of ByuN. ByuN is getting his own 3rd. He will have the better economy. Now he's rallying in with the 2nd army. Mine shots going off. 2nd Colossus has arrived, true. He's got 2 Colossus. And with that, he can hold on. Has mine shots are going up. Oh god, brutal connections. Takes out all the Colossus, all the Stalkers. The Colossus are exposed, and the Colossus are going down. GG gets called. And ByuN, he breaks the 3rd base. He breaks the low ground, and ByuN takes the lead in the series. Extends his lead 2-0. Whew. GG, well played. ByuN, he does take game number 2. Again, a very, very strong showing here. It was just a shaky setup there from MaxPax. He was being greedier. Being greedy on torches sounds crazy. Winding it back, if you remember what we spoke about, some of the generalities of torches is how aggression is favored. Short rush distance by air, short rush distance by ground, exposed bases, or at least exposed certain bases, as we saw, and whoever does, or whoever is the aggressor, is going to have all that momentum, is going to have the map helping them, I should say. MaxPax, was a bold move to go for a greedier start, to go for the faster 3rd base, to go for the Colossus follow-up, but he was torn apart ahead of time. Losing the first shield battery, losing workers early on, losing Stalkers early on, all that slowly did add up into a really rough defense at the 3rd base. Sure, he got the Colossus And sure, he saved the expansion, but he lost far too much in the process, got punished for it, and GG. GG, well played. Now, what I will say and what I should emphasize is that this game was also very specific. The turnouts, the conclusion of this game and how the game played out is also very specific to torches. There are other maps where it is easier to defend, where it is easier to stabilize and get into the mid game, and I do favor MaxPax coming into our next map. Up next, Tokamak. Let's go. Let us go as we're getting into game number 3. And meanwhile, a shout out to Supras number 91 Turbo in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Thank you, Papi. Thank you. I'm usually a casual YouTube watcher. Good to see you on Twitch today. Cheers. Oh, thank you, thank you. I mean, we're on both channels. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We do stream on both platforms. I say both platforms. We actually stream on. Is it 5 platforms? We stream on YouTube, on Twitch, on Kick, on TikTok, and Facebook. Bam, we stream on all 5 platforms. But of course, the benefit of YouTube is the rewind feature, but also VODs. VODs are uploaded to YouTube on a daily basis. VODs are all there. They're all stored. But thank you. Thank you so much for dropping by. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft as we are jumping into our next game. Into game number 3, potentially the final game of the series. I'm hoping not, right? I'm hoping for a back and forth. I want to see a game 4. I want to see a game 5. And give us a series. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 2-0. It is ByuN. What? Calm down, Papi. Church, I should calm down. I should calm down. As spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. The pressure is on. It is MaxPax. Here we go, and welcome one all to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps in the map pool, more defendable 3rd base, defendable 4th base. Unlike some of these other maps, there's no way to go in between the bases. We have rocks here to protect the area in between the 3rd and in between the 4th base. Likewise, there are more ramps, more areas where you can engage ahead of time to slow down a push, to slow down aggression. So coming into this, I do favor MaxPax's ability to get into the mid game. I'll be honest, so far, Game 1 and Game 2 have been faster games. And it's not like ByuN has been all in. No, by no means. Like, ByuN, he's been expanding, he's been getting a 3rd base. ByuN has been building up into longer games, but his aggression has been top tier. Again, the mechanics of the ByuN, the drop play, the unit control, the engagements, ByuN has been popping off, he has been overwhelming. Momentum has been heavily in favor of ByuN, and MaxPax has to strip that away from ByuN. He has to slow things down, has to calm down. Take a breath. Take a breath. But I do think this is a good map to start the comeback, for sure. As I mentioned leading into this, I do favor MaxPax here on Tokamak, but we'll see. We shall see. As we have, Fast Tech Lab. Hello. Okay. So Rax into Expand, Economic Opener into a Faster Tech Lab, add-on swap, okay, into earlier Cyclone. So Cyclone Opener here out of ByuN, but is more economic. So again, later second gas, earlier CC. For the first time this series, we have a Rax Expand, Economic Opener out of ByuN. Economic Opener. The earlier Cyclone is designed to defend, is designed to shut down this Adept and allow ByuN to expand. The downside of this build, though, as you can see, is 0 scouting. ByuN, he has seen nothing. No SCV Scout, no Reaper Scout, causes no Reaper, and no Hellion Scout, causes no Hellion. So ByuN, he's playing blind, he's playing very greedy and very safe as a result. I say safe, the Cyclone does help in the defense, but he doesn't really know what's going on. For all he knows, there could be a Stargate, there could be a Robo, there could be a proxy here at the 3rd base location, there could be anything. ByuN is kind of playing it blind. As opposed to how ByuN will play it out if he had a Reaper or a Hellion. So ByuN does move out. I was checking his side of the map as it's being active with the Cyclone just to try to get a read on what's happening. Behind this, we have gateways on the way. We have a 3-gate blink setup here. Robo before 3rd base, so very safe play here by MaxPax. Very safe. And ByuN is pulling back, pulling away. Behind this, going for his own Mind Drop follow-up. Widow mines are amassing. MaxPax moving in. Does move in. Lock on the Adept. Oh, doesn't quite get it. Breaks the lock on and gets the other though. Second Adept does go down. And MaxPax, these units are going to be hunted down here. Brutal lock on takes down the second Adept. Widow mine drop is on the way. And MaxPax will have that much less to defend. But he should be able to react in time. Oh. As it does boost in. Does go for the mineral line. And we see MaxPax, he does pull away in time. Oh, the retarget, Jesus. Nice retargeting. 2 workers go down in the natural. Jesus. Oh, takes on a Stalker as well. Not bad, but a little bit too greedy there. And ByuN, he will lose the medevac. And in the end, it gets 2 probes. It gets a Stalker, but he will lose the medevac in the process. So a bit of a back and forth trade. I do actually like MaxPax's position here, catching the medevac. Now he can move out. Behind this, oh, tank Banshee. Tanks are on the way, which is standard. Banshee is on the way, which is not. So we do have a Banshee follow-up. Bit of a cheeky move here from ByuN. MaxPax can now freely move out. Ideally, if the medevac survived, then that would keep some supply back at him to defend. But there's nothing to stop it. Nothing to hold him back. Does begin. Tank fully going off. Late reaction out of ByuN. Yeah, late reaction. The tank will fall. Nice pick off. Takes down the tank. MaxPax does kite back. And it will contain ByuN. Okay. Does contain MaxPax. He lost 1 Stalker in the process. That's well worth it. That's well worth it for MaxPax. Catching out the tank. Catching out a Cyclone. MaxPax really expanding, getting his 3rd base. As we mentioned, like, this map is going to be favoring MaxPax, and he's going to have a much more comfortable time in this game, gaining map control, expanding, and getting into a 3-base economy. Yeah, this is MaxPax's game. Oh, but he will lose the Stalker. Yeah, he was caught out. Does lose the Stalker. Banshee behind the mineral lines. Does hit the 3rd. Not too bad. Getting 1, getting 2, getting 3 probe kills. Getting the sentry. Oh, barely does. Takes a lot of damage. This should be a one-way trip here as Blink is done, and the Banshee will fall. This is an okay trade. Gets 4 probes, gets a sentry. It's okay. I think something that helps ByuN here, didn't get Blink. Sorry, didn't get Cloak, I meant to say. Cloak was not researched, so it wasn't the biggest investment into Banshees. But ideally, he did want a little bit more. As the Banshee does fall. MaxPax getting ready for a dive into the main. Just getting ready for that dive. 3rd TC is on the way for ByuN. Getting his 3rd command center. Storm is on the way for MaxPax. Going to Storm, not going into Colossus this time. Not yet. Yeah, he blinks in, takes down 1, takes down both tanks. ByuN caught out in the open. Shout out to the Observer that was, of course, spotting all of that. And ByuN's being overwhelmed. Yeah, ByuN is being overwhelmed. He goes for a jump across the map. He has that much less to defend, and this game may just end here and now. Yeah, the bunker is going to fall. Diving on the Marines. We need some reinforcements here, but last, no Prism. Yeah, no Prism, no reinforcements. ByuN, he will hold on. Prism's in the main base instead, going for the depot. Stalker's back into the natural. And ByuN, he does get into the main. Probes are going to be going down. But there should be... okay, defensive recall. Does recall back home. ByuN, he can take this fight, though. No shot. Not anymore. Zelsay warp in, and MaxPax, he will shut this down. Takes down the medevac, it cleans up the army. And where exactly are we? As it does settle here, MaxPax is on 3 bases. He's on 52 workers. The Zealots are being cleaned up as he gets 1 more SCV in the main. And just 1 more. ByuN, he is going to be down in workers, and bearing in mind MaxPax now getting a 4th base is on the way. Storm is done. High Templar amassing. Storm is ready, and the supply is close, but the soup does lie. Right, the supply does lie here. MaxPax does have more momentum. MaxPax does have map control, does have the greater army, and MaxPax is pushing. At the same time, ByuN moves out with his own double drop. He does unload. Now, a lot of this comes down to the storms, because we do need some Zealot reinforcements here. The Stalkers are on their own. Yeah, the storms are okay, but that's a lot of storms here on half the army. Uh-oh. Yeah, Max actually does waste his storms, and ByuN, he can chase him down. Ooh, better storm. Better storm on the bio, but I believe that was his last storm. Yeah, that was it. that was the final storm. Again, he was just too trigger happy earlier. Now, thankfully, ByuN is not aware of the army, so the warp-in will complete. But at this point, we have a back and forth. Earlier, I was giving a lot of credit to MaxPax, and I was saying he had momentum, and I stand by that. But now he lost all the High Templar, forced to morph into Archons, drops them moving out. It's getting dicey. Now, MaxPax still has the greater economy, of course. And MaxPax does spot the drop. Does spot ByuN. Nice storm here on the main army. Gets a medevac. Yeah, and ByuN is still trying to recover here. MaxPax, he should be the first to max out. From here, he can tech up. He can start working towards a Bay. He can start diversifying his splash damage into Colossus, into Storm. Raise him into the bases. And ByuN is somewhat in position. Yeah. Will defend. MaxPax moving in. He has how many High Templar? He has 3. Okay, 3 High Templar. So he has at least 3 storms. Does phase check. Oh, EMP's coming in. Nice EMP. Gets 1 High Templar, but there's still 1 left. Yeah, still 1 High Templar left. Storm goes off, takes down the Ghost. Oh, Mind Shots are brutal though. Yeah, they shut down the Zealots. Zealots are falling. Nice EMP on the High Templar. There's 1 Storm coming in. There's 1 final High Templar. Yeah, Storm is pushing forward. Storm does connect. But that was the final storm. And are there enough Zealots here? With these reinforcements, it should be enough. Yeah, MaxPax. Oh, the Prism is shut down. Warping gets denied. But he gets 17 SCVs. Oof. If it wasn't for the worker damage, then I would favor ByuN here. But he did lose 17 workers. Workers he can't afford to lose. And MaxPax gets another base. Another expansion. ByuN, he does hold. Does hold, has to go back to mining. Max actually has 84 probes. He is at the ideal worker count, and there it is. Second robo is on the way. Bay is on the way. Second forge is on the way. MaxPax is taking up. He's getting further and further ahead. Again, it's just been a rough game here for ByuN. And from here, we can just commit to the base trade. Now, the base trade is maybe the best chance here for ByuN to like pull off some kind of crazy maneuver, but he's racing back. Yeah, he's racing back home. MaxPax moving in. Does catch us some of the ghosts. Zealot peel off into the mineral line. Catching out more reinforcements. Another ghost. Here comes a warp in. And ByuN, he has nothing left. He has nothing to defend. The army is racing back home, but it's barely an army. We're still waiting for the storms. Prism goes down. Here come the storms. Yeah, storms on ByuN. GG gets called, and MaxPax, he does fight back. He does put a point on the board. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Ooh, and again, as we mentioned, like Tokamak was the best map for MaxPax. I think some people, especially, I mean, again, especially people that maybe don't watch as much StarCraft, but maps, they do play a big role into certain playstyles, into certain builds, into what's favored, into what isn't. The reason why we did favor MaxPax here is, again, this map is favored towards players that are looking and wanting to get into a more secure base count, 3-4 bases, and MaxPax, he was much more secure here. The draw play was struggling to get damage done. He was getting a couple workers here or there, but MaxPax, he was secure. He was able to punish ByuN, get all over him. GG. GG, well played. And I'm most curious by, ooh, the next map. I think you can probably guess what map this is based on my reaction. Coming up next, we're going to be loading into Game 4. Game 4 is going to be Pylon. Oh boy. Pylon is known for aggression. Pylon is not as extreme as Torches. Torches is probably one of the most extreme maps out there. Like, Torches is crazy. Pylon, likewise, exposed third bases, short rush distance by ground. Once again, ByuN, his speed, his momentum, his aggression is going to be bolstered coming into Pylon. We'll see if MaxPax can keep up. We'll see if he can shut it down. The pressure is going to be on MaxPax. He has put a point on the board. He does have some momentum here, but we'll see how MaxPax will approach Pylon. Let's go. There's a lot to get into. Especially when it comes to how MaxPax approach Torches. For now, though, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 2-1. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Danish Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming. Looking to tie up the series. It does put a point on the board, and we'll see if he can force the ace match. It is MaxPax. Oh, let's go. We're going for the proxy. Speaking of aggression, I don't think you need to go for proxies like this, but okay, ByuN, he has momentum. We're on Pylon. Why the hell not? Proxy racks across the map. Oh boy. So the proxy has been thrown down. Now, when it comes to this proxy setup here, we'll see if extra gases are taken. Otherwise, it could just be proxy Reaper into a bunker on the low ground into delayed economy. This is not an all-in. Bear that in mind. Only one proxy, no second SCV. So it's not proxy 2 racks. So it should just be proxy Reaper. The SCV can sit up here on the low ground as well. So we'll keep an eye on ByuN's setup. Meanwhile, MaxPax does scout. Across the map. He does see gases, he does see no racks. It is not uncommon to hide the racks in the main or in the natural or at the third base location, so it's on MaxPax to scout and to confirm. As he's poking back in, you can see he's getting further back, checking the base. Reaper is on the way, and the SCV goes home. Oh, okay. I assumed that the SCV would actually stick around for a bunker, but no, the SCV does come back home, so very light commitment. Very light commitment here from ByuN. It's not very committed at all. So going for the proxy Reaper. Factory gets thrown down. You can see here that MaxPax, he's scouting. Yeah, he's checking for the bunker. He's checking for the bunker. He's looking for it. There is none. And the Reaper does bust in. And we'll see how much damage he can get done. So fire pokes one forward, gets one probe, going for a second, I guess technically a third. There's one worker to go down across the map. So 3 probe kills, Reaper does back off, second Reaper's on the way. And ByuN should be expanding from here. Oh, going for the tech lab before CC, okay. That should be for the safety Cyclone. As Reapers, they're going to be deflected. MaxPax is holding on. Did lose 3 probes, so did sustain some damage here, but soon he'll be able to break out. He's waiting for the second adept. Speaking of miscontrol out of ByuN, he does stick around. He will lose 1 Reaper. And that means there's not much left to defend back at home. He needs that Cyclone. Cyclone is on the way. Adept is coming. And the Adept will delay the CC. Ideally, the Reapers, they wanted to keep tabs. They wanted to keep this Adept back at home. SCV goes down. Nice delay. As the Cyclone does offend. Now ByuN can expand. Reaper does scout. It does confirm the Twilight Council. And here we go. Oh, okay. We're getting into our games. MaxPax is in a decent position. He's on 2 bases, getting another gateway, getting up to a 2-gate setup. Robo as well. MaxPax is getting secure. When it comes to ByuN's follow-up, he should just be working towards a 3-1-1 setup. There we go, going for the Cyclone job. Honestly, there's quite a lot riding on the Cyclone job to gain map control, to pick off a Stalker, an Adept, to keep MaxPax busy. While ByuN tries to recover. Oh, and it was a risky move out, no Cyclones to defend. SCV goes down. Oh, there's nothing at home. Yeah, there's nothing at home. No mining at the natural. Aye. So far, this proxy from ByuN just hasn't been worth it. It's not been worth it here. as he has 0 economy. On top of that, MaxPax, he knows that the Cyclones are missing. He's ready in the main. Cyclones, they get some economic damage, they delay mining, but that's all they get. I get 2 probes in the main. Gets 2 workers. ByuN is trying to recover. It's been a shaky start here for ByuN. MaxPax, yeah, he's not having it. Moves out. Blink is complete. He can dive into the main. There is a tank in position. There's some Sim City, but there's not really much to preserve it. Or not really much to support the tank. There's how many Marines? 8. 8 Marines, no stim. Tank goes down. Again, there's no support. Tank falls. And there's others on MaxPax. Yeah, he can just snowball into a win here. He can just can the production. Tank is too far back. Marine's going to be going down. With good enough control here, MaxPax should not lose a Stalker. Ooh, 1 Stalker does go down. 2 Stalkers go down. And not able to pick up in time. But the Warpin does complete. And he's just wreaking havoc in the main base. Catching out more SCVs. 5 up to almost 6. 6 workers going down. And yes, MaxPax is bleeding out some Stalkers, but this is worth it. This is more than worth it here. 7, 8 SCV kills, no mining at the natural. The Cyclones, they got shut down across the map. Ay, ay, ay. And we're looking to go to the ace match here. Like, MaxPax is looking to tie things up. Takes a massive lead. As he's still not done. And the reason because of this is the Cyclones. Where are they? They're dead. Like, the Cyclones, they went down. They went down, so there's no Cyclone defense here to support, to shut down the Prism. To chase it. GG gets called. There's no keeping up with this. And MaxPax ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. And again, just a really rough game there for ByuN. Going for the proxy was a bold move, and there's a lot of downsides to going for that proxy. Yes, he got a couple of probe kills, but it also meant that he had less production back at home. He was heavily reliant on his Cyclone. It all began with the first Reaper. If you remember, the first Reaper died. The first Reaper went down to the Adept. Because the Reaper went down, Adepts that were free to go across the map. Because they got across the map, they delayed the CC. The Cyclone was too late because the Reaper went down. Then we saw the drop play out of ByuN. We saw the move out with the Cyclones, but he was caught exposed back at home. Just completely shut down. GG. GG, well played. MaxPax, he punishes the aggression of ByuN, and now we're getting into the ace match. And I don't imagine ByuN's going to proxy again. Can't imagine he will, but we'll see. We'll see what ByuN goes for as we found ourselves in Game 5. And now I get what I wanted. Ace match. Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're getting into the ace match, and we're going to be loading into Ultra Love. Now, what I will say is that Ultra Love is also an aggressive map, also does favor aggression, short rushes, and spy ground. We've seen a lot of successful all-ins on Ultra Love, just like on Pylon. But, again, does ByuN get too excited? On Pylon, he fell behind before he could really get into the game. Here on Ultra Love, I'm hoping that he goes for a more standard opener, but we'll see. Here we go. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion being forced into the ace match. He was up 2-0, but alas, has maybe gotten a little bit too excited in some of these games. We'll see if he can bring it back. It is a ByuN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. Fighting back, taking 2 games in a row. Momentum is on his side. 1 more game and he will become this week's champion. It is MaxPax. Here we go. And I'm just curious to see how ByuN does open up. Rax is back at home this time. Again, when it comes to Pylon and Ultra Love, these last 2 maps, I do favor ByuN if he goes into his own standard play, but he didn't do that last game. ByuN, he got a little bit too frisky, he got a little bit too excited, a little bit too crazy, going for the proxy, which it was not worth it. It set him behind more than anything. It caused mistakes, it caused damage to be done, and ByuN was torn apart. Here, double gas opener out of ByuN, going for the faster factory, going back to what he does best, going back to the opener that he went for in Game 1 and Game 2. Double gas. If you remember, on Tokamak he went for a Rax Expand, and of course on Pylon he went for the Proxy. So here he's going for more tech-heavy starts, and we'll see if MaxPax can keep up with the drop play and keep up with the aggression of ByuN. It is what MaxPax struggled with in the first 2 games, and now we're back to that. Back to that style. If we were loading into Incorporeal or Magnatha, I would have favored MaxPax a little bit more. But again, we found ourselves on Ultra Love. So here we go. When it comes to Ultra Love, I would say that this map is more of a map of extremes. If you've been watching a lot of games on Ultra Love, I mean, it's been around for a while at this point, like a year. Ultra Love, either we can see a lot of all-ins or we see a lot of late game. This map is prone to being cut in half, just because the base layout and the map layout, a lot of these bases, it can be quite difficult to take bases from your opponents. There's a lot of choke points, a lot of points of elevation, so we have seen a lot of like 30-40 minute games on Ultra Love. But I don't know if these are the 2 players to really take it that far. If we were casting like Classic or Estrella, then I would consider it a little bit more. MaxPax less so. And ByuN, likewise, a little bit less so as well. Here we go. MaxPax does move out. Looks in, gonna be zoned away. Let's say the Deft has arrived, and can he get on top of the CC? Takes down the Marine. Gets one, takes down the Hellion as well. Hellion does fall. And MaxPax will break through, but it's gonna be closer. It looks like he will not delay the CC. Yeah, there are enough units, there are enough reinforcements, and ByuN will hold. Did not go for the Cyclone defense, he went to Marine Hellion instead. Interesting. With that, he does preserve his gas. Tech Lab will finish, and does he go for the swap? Like, it's lined up for it. Yep, there it is. Add-on swap. Are we rushing into Cloak Banshee? Really greedy build here. I should say really tech-heavy build. Again, he skipped out on Cyclones to do this. That's why there's no Cyclone here, because it was holding onto that gas. Now, MaxPax knows this. Like, this is a tell. Even though he hasn't seen the main base, he saw the later CC, he saw the Hellion Marine, he knows gas has to be spent somewhere. There's a high chance, just from deducing what he's seen so far, that it is going to be Cloak Banshee. Technically, there could be fast tank production being hidden in the main base. True, technically. But, like, Banshees are going to be, I'm sure, on the forefront of MaxPax's mind. And does go for the Robo. Yeah, Robo has been thrown down. Getting up to 4 gateways. Ooh, okay. I like this. 4-gate blink here by MaxPax. This can punish. Remember, delayed Cyclone and delayed tank production because of the Banshees. So rushing into 4-gate blink, I mean, he can break ByuN. No bunker. Uh-oh. Yeah, no bunker here at the natural. Blink is not yet done. But without a bunker to defend and with delayed tank production, there we go, bunker's on the way. He needs that bunker desperately. Does need that bunker. Tank is getting in position. Banshee's on the way. And MaxPax, he is much more committed here. There we go, warping in 4 Stalkers at a time. It's been a while since Steve MaxPax go for a 4-gate blink. He's going for it. He's going for the dive. Bunker's not ready. Yeah, the bunker is not ready in time. Again, ByuN, he was just so greedy here, delaying the bunker. Tank goes down as well. Oh my god, Tank survives. Ooh, Tank does survive. Ay, ay, ay. Big moment for ByuN. Bunker finishes. MaxPax, he almost broke ByuN then and there. ByuN is holding. Banshee into the main. Probe's going down. MaxPax is pretty all in, or he's pretty committed, I should say. He's expanding behind this, but he has to get damage done. Going into the main base. Tank boy is going off. First tank is going to go down. He gets one. Gets one tank. Oh my god, but he bleeds out a lot of Stalkers. As he took even more tank shots to the face. 6 probes going down. Warping is denied. Does take down the tech lab. Just barely. Yeah, just barely. But ByuN holds. ByuN does hold on, and I'll be honest, I don't think that MaxPax has done enough damage yet. It's close, but he hasn't done enough. He's bled out so many Stalkers. That was how many? That was 6 Stalkers going down for 1 tank. Like, that was not a worthwhile trade. Banshees are still being annoying, still getting more damage done. Tank is set up here at the natural. MaxPax tempted to blink. But MaxPax is tempted. Does get behind the mineral line. Tank voice going off. And ByuN holds. Yeah, ByuN is holding. ByuN shuts us down. ByuN now claiming a third CC. And as the dust settles here, that was 8 probe kills, 6 stalkers. MaxPax, he at least was able to get some counter damage, but oh, now he can one-shot. Yeah, ByuN can one-shot probes. 3, 4, 5 probes going down. Brutal damage. Oof. Even a kill, not a cancel. Oh. Banshee falls. Nice pick off. MaxPax does get one of the Banshees. But this is still crucial damage. Critical damage even, I should say. You know, MaxPax is still a lot of pressure on him because it sustains so much economic damage. MaxPax has to make this worth it. He has 16 stalkers. That's a lot of stalkers. And he may still try to break the natural. Ah, there's a tank on the high ground there. Yeah, there's a tank on the high ground. Observer gets caught. Keen eyes at a ByuN. Takes down the Observer. He's walling up. As he gets another 2 gets another 2 workers. Another 2 probes going down. Storm is on the way. Oh, ByuN with a miss rally. Oh, good. Yeah, it does miss rally. Bleeds out 4 Marines, 5 Marines. Yeah, just free damage from MaxPax. ByuN, we gotta calm down. We gotta calm down, ByuN. Ay, ay, ay. Este ByuN. We're getting nervous. We're getting shaky. Getting messy. MaxPax saving his 4th base. ByuN taking towards Ghost. 3rd base now on the way. We'll see if MaxPax can delay. As ByuN is breaking out. He's trying to. Tank is repositioning. ByuN, he wants that 3rd. Oh. Does get the Stalker. MaxPax, he confirms. He's now aware of the 3rd base. At the same time, getting ready for a Zealot run by. We have 5 Zealots here on the left-hand side. Main army's pushing in. Storm is ready. And how many High Templar? 4. There's 4 Templar inside the Prism. He's got at least 4 Storms. And with this Storm timing, he can break through. Oh, Ghost, they have to come down. 1 Ghost does not go down. Does scan. There's a Prism. Prism's moving in. If he goes off. If he goes off, but the Storms are still coming in. There we go. 1, 2 Storms. EMP connects. No more Storms. Yeah, no Storms remaining. The boys are being pulled. And 0 Storms left. And ByuN can hold on here. It's still going to be close. Yeah, it's still going to be close here. So many SCVs going to be going down. 20 SCV kills. And that might just be too much. Yeah, MaxPax, he breaks through. He breaks through the main army. Takes down the mineral line. You saw all the boys stuck on 1 Zealot. Some rough control there from ByuN. We had like 20 SCVs on 1 Zealot there. Ay, ay, ay. And MaxPax, he takes the lead. He takes the lead. Cripples the economy, pulls away. Ideally, he wants to break ByuN then and there. I mean, I say takes the lead. We're in an interesting position here. He got a lot of damage done, true. He got a lot of damage. He killed 21 workers. That's solid. Didn't kill ByuN, though. ByuN, he's going to be able to rebuild. He's on 55 SCVs, has a decent economy. Tanks are sieging. Ooh, they punish. At this point, I feel like MaxPax has to calm down. Like, he killed the mineral line. He has to just calm things down. Prism into the main. I don't think MaxPax has to push in. Like, we don't have to move into this. Zealous coming from behind. Main army towards the natural. Zealous, they get on top of the tanks. 1 tank goes down. The other tank does fall as well. Nice pickoffs. Gets both tanks. Yeah, ByuN was out of position. Yeah, it was out of position. The tanks were exposed. Okay, nice pickoffs by MaxPax. Takes down 2 tanks, pulls away, preserves the High Templar, gets another base, and takes up into Colossus. Like again, MaxPax, I don't think he has to commit into these armies. But at the same time, he needs time to breathe, not time to get into Colossus. Still very close. Oh. See, he's got 3 High Templar. Zealous, they head towards the 3rd. They get spotted by the Vikings. Speaking of, Vikings are amassing, so he's getting ready for Colossus. He's got 2, soon to be 4 Vikings, plus 1 ship weapons on the way. It's still very tense. Still very tense. ByuN does head over, claims his 4th. Now, this is a scary moment. I was talking earlier how MaxPax didn't have to push into the 3-base setup. I stand by that. But MaxPax does have to contain and try and delay the 4th. The 4th base getting up and running uncontested is a scary thing here in TvP. And MaxPax, he will scout it. He is now aware. And MaxPax has to move it. Like, he has to be active in some way, either to punish the 4th or push into the 3rd or find a way into the main base. With a 4-base economy, ByuN, he will max. He will max out. And MaxPax just doesn't really have much to work with. I mean, he has been bleeding out a lot of Stalkers. Like, that I will say about this game so far. MaxPax has been a little bit careless with the Stalker movement, and he's been bleeding out so many. Right now, it's mainly a Zealot army remaining. EMP's going off. Colossus have arrived. Here we go, Zealous here towards the 3rd, but ByuN is in position. And shows his EMPs. Storms are coming in. Oh, EMP does not connect. There's 2 High Templar. EMP does graze the army. Better EMP. Gets 1 High Templar. There's 1 Templar left. Storm into the mineral line. 7 SCV kills another Storm. Oh my god. ByuN does take the Storm to the face. Speaking of, there's still 1 Storm left, or I should say 2. There's our first Storm. We're waiting for the other. Another High Templar reinforces, and MaxPax is pushing through. Yeah, he's pushing through, just starting back the army. Zealous coming from behind. Here come more Colossus. And just a shaky engage here from ByuN. The Vikings are popping off, though. Yeah, Vikings, they go to town. They take down the Colossus. And there are no Storms left. No Storms remaining. Nice EMPs. ByuN holds. Whew. ByuN, he does hold on. Did cost him 13 SCVs. It cost him a lot of workers. But he does hold. He does survive. Does take the better fight. Again, a lot of those EMPs were crucial. And his 4th base is up and running. Like, that's what's important at the end of the day. Sure, he lost some workers, but the 4th base is up. That's what matters here. The goal for MaxPax was to either break the base or kill ByuN. Didn't do either. Did kill some SCVs, which is good. But MaxPax, he wanted more there. He did want more. More Colossus is going to be building up. But Vikings or Prison. Jesus, we have 9 Vikings so far. It's a lot of Vikings. Again, they were preserved from the previous fight. Yeah, he scans. Where are the High Templar? Okay, they're further back. Okay. I was like, what's going on? High Templar, they're a little bit further back. Speaking of, ByuN is hunting for the Templar. Speaking of, Storm comes in. Nice Storm! Yeah, Storm does connect, but the Colossus, they're getting caught out. Another Storm here on the main army. First Colossus full, so there's a second. Another Storm, though. Yeah, the Storms have been solid. ByuN taking almost every Storm to the face. Oh my god, the Storms are insane. Yeah, the Storms were they were critical there. Storms, they shut down the ByuN. Vikings, they will hold their own. But there's not much left on the ground. So many Marines, so many Marauders just went down here. To the Storms. And saying that, 0 High Templar left. True. There's 0 Templar remaining. So there was a back and forth. MaxPax remaxing here. There we go. Does go for the Warping of Templar. To at least preserve 1 Colossus. Taking more bases. expansions. Down to 3 Colossus for the first time, as typically he's been engaging with 2. Still looking for a way in. ByuN taking a 5th. Does scan. Again, there's 4 Templar with the main army. EMP connects with 1. There's still 3 Templar left with energy. So we can keep an eye on the Templar. Speaking of, High Templar does connect. Or Storm connects even. We have the first Storm. The second one mainly zones. And we have 2 Storms left. We have Swords with the Templar on the right. Does move in. Storm graces the army. Yeah, not ideal. No Storms remaining. Now he can stim in. He can stim. He can win. Takes down all the Colossus. Trying to break through the main army. There's still a lot of Zealots, though. Yeah, a lot of Zealots. Vikings, they have to land. That's a lot of supply. That's a lot of... Oh, as they do catch Colossus. Okay. Yeah, Prism goes down. Colossus goes down. What about the ground army, though? That's going to be 22 dead SCVs. ByuN's barely going to hold on. The Vikings, they did not clean up. They got cleaned up. They got the Prism, but they didn't get the Colossus. Viking count is reset. No more Vikings. Oh, sorry, I spoke too soon. We have 4. Never mind. 4 Vikings coming in. That should be enough. Oh my god. Let's take another Storm to the face. Storms are popping up. More Vikings on the way. We're calming down. We're calming down again. Still very intense moments here. Very tense. ByuN, he's down in workers. Again, every time there's been a fight, he's had to pull the boys. Like, every time he's had to lose SCVs. And that is slowing ByuN down. Looking at the tower. Getting another base, at least trying. Yeah, ByuN is hurting here as MaxPax is maxed out. Even sprinkling in some disruptors. Let's go 1 disruptor with the main army. He has 2 Templar, soon to be 2 Storms, so not very storm heavy. Instead, more reliant on Colossus and Disruptor. I mean, the Storms have been excelling, true. They've been popping up. As EP never goes up. Raises the army. Storm comes in. There's 1 Storm left. There's the final Storm. Yeah, no more Storms remaining. Zelda into the natural. ByuN supply blocks. Uh-oh. Getting supply blocks. Main army's pushing in, but again, no Storms. ByuN does engage. Takes down one of the Colossus. Takes down both. Both Colossus go down. Nova doesn't connect. ByuN, he defends his natural. Trying to engage, trying to move in. Still a very tough hold. As there's another Storm, we just keep warping in Zealous. Yeah, the economy here for MaxPax is what's winning him this game. Yeah, so many bases, just such a great economy here, such a massive bank. So on the one hand, I would say that ByuN has been out trading MaxPax, true, but MaxPax, he can afford to have some inefficient trades. He can afford to throw away Colossus and Storm and Disruptors. As long as he's able to just get a handle on the economy of ByuN, then it's fine. As he has 2,000 minerals in the bank, he can just keep warping in more Zealots, and Zealots are becoming a problem. Up. Ooh, brutal Nova. Nova pops off. Another Robo's on the way. 3rd Robo here for MaxPax. Storm does connect. Oh my god, yeah, he does stand in the Storms. Medevacs so low, they're all going down. And these are brutal losses for ByuN. MaxPax, he has done it. Yeah, he does it. He breaks through the main army, takes out the Medevacs, takes out the Vikings. GG gets called. And MaxPax, he will take the series 3-2, becoming this week's PiGosaur Cup champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very explosive final game here. I'll be honest, game 1 to 4, they were a lot more cut and dry when it came to early game aggression from both sides. Game 1, 2, 3, and 4, yeah, they were just a lot more a little more cut and dry, a little more obvious when it came to just the early game, the mid game. We didn't really get to sink our teeth into these two players until the final game. Like, what an ace match here. We actually got into a solid economy. It was still very intense and very shaky, and that's what made it a lot of fun. If you remember, winding it back, we had MaxPax going for Gapeling Stalker, and it was a little bit subpar. Like, we saw him lose a lot of Stalkers. We had the Banshees pop off across the map, killing probes as well, keeping ByuN in it. He was able to barely hold on as well against the 4-gate Bling, able to claim his third base. If you remember, we were talking about the moment where ByuN took his fourth, where he was able to establish his fourth base, but even when he took his fourth base, he was bleeding out a lot of SCVs. Like, MaxPax, he was able to engage, he was able to take these fights, able to kill 10, 15, 20 SCVs at a time each fight to make sure that ByuN never maxed. He got up to like 180, 190 supply at one point when he got supply blocked, but he never quite maxed out, never quite got into that final form. He was always trading and fighting and trying to survive, whereas MaxPax was able to mass expand behind it. And eventually, it got out of hand. It was still very, very back and forth for the majority of that game, but towards the end, he was able to enjoy the greater economy, able to embrace all those workers and all those bases, and eventually break ByuN. GG. GG, well played. But again, a very action-packed final game, and congratulations here to MaxPax. He does pull off the reverse sweep. Very impressive play here. I'm still thinking about that game on Pylon. Like, I'm still like, yeah, we did not need the proxy map. Yeah. So ByuN just getting a little bit too excited at times, but regardless, it did lead to a very fun series, a very exciting series. GG, well played. Shout out to MaxPax. GG, well played. As he is going to be this week's champion. Congratulations. And again, did go all the way to the ace match, to a fun back and forth. Shout out to all the competitors here tonight, not just the MaxPax, not just the ByuN, but also a shout out to Percival. Percival, of course, did make a series out of the semis. We had Shameless as well. Shameless, he calls a crazy upset. We all expected Estrella versus ByuN and maybe Estrella versus MaxPax, but no, Shameless, he 2-0'd Estrella in a very, very intense PvP, very short PvP as well, really fast games. If you missed it, I do recommend the VODs. It was very exciting to see Estrella and Shameless face off, but Shameless did cause that upset. And of course, in the end, GG well played. Percival also taking down Geralt as well to make it a face-off against MaxPax in those semis. If you're curious, this is a weekly tournament, a weekly open cup. It is at a more NA-friendly time slots. I know that right now it's really difficult for the Europeans to play and difficult for the Europeans to watch, just because of the time slot available here. But shout out to Pig for sponsoring. Shout out to Stegosaurus for, of course, running the event and for funding the event as well. So big shout out to Stegosaurus. Without Stegosaurus, this event would not be possible. So much love. And likewise, our next broadcast, and then likewise, is a weekly tournament. So every single week we are typically live with the ByuSour Cup. I say typically, we'll see if it is going to be running next week because of EWC. We might be seeing some of these tournaments take a week off because of the Esports World Cup. Yet to be determined here, as we have the rest of our schedule. As you can see, we are going to be live tomorrow. We have a trifecta. We have the StarCraft Evolution League in the morning, we have the Pondcast in the afternoon, and we have OC King of the Hill in the evening. We just wrapped up with our Wednesday cast. As you can see on our schedule, Thursday, it's gonna be pretty busy. So back to back, we have 3 events on Thursday. We have more StarCraft Evolution on Friday, and we have Duckling Open on Saturday, Sparkling Tuning Cup on Sunday. That is our regular tournaments, our monthly amateur, and our weekly open tournament as well. So plenty of content on the horizon. This is this week's schedule, so if you see something that you want to watch here, but if you cannot watch it live, then check out our VODs over on YouTube. Check them out over on YouTube. Again, when it comes to tomorrow's broadcast, the Pondcast, that's our weekly talk show where we wrap up and talk all things StarCraft. OC King of the Hill is a best of 1 King of the Hill format tournament, and StarCraft Evolution League is a mod. It's StarCraft Evolution, not quite SC2, but StarCraft Evolution instead. Is a mod that does bring together Brood War and SC2 against each other. Oh boy. Here we go. Just catching up in the chat. ByuN face tanking those storms. Sag. Terrans always think they can stay in the shower. Clem wasn't that like the plague. I would disagree with that. We've casted, I would say that Clem became a meme on the channel for a couple of months because he would take every storm to the face. Like I'm thinking like March, April, May, like earlier this year. Yeah, it was it got to the point where whenever a Terran player stood in storms, I would say, oh no, he's been watching Clem. Oh no. He's gotten better of it as of late, but for a good chunk of time this year, that was also Clem. That's also Clem's. It's a difficult time for Europeans to show, but MaxPax shows up. MaxPax, he's full degen though. There's a key amount of degens that do stay up until 5 AM to play StarCraft. MaxPax, Geralt, Nickrat, Clem, Skillus. The only reason why Clem isn't here is because Clem is in Korea. If he was in Europe, he'd be playing right now, 100%. But Clem is in Korea, so he's not able to go full degen to compete in this tournament. Unfortunately. But it's all good. But with that, we are wrapping up. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you appreciated the broadcast. Hope you enjoyed. And again, we'll be back tomorrow. Today, only one cast for us today. So we are going to be wrapping up here on the Cranky Ducklings. I am going to go live on my own personal channel. I rarely get to stream. I rarely get to ladder just because we're casting so much. And I have been trying to ease up a little bit on some casting just so we have more time to rest, getting ready for EWC. But today, may as well ladder for a little bit. May as well have a cheeky ladder session. Very rusty, just because we don't really get to play much StarCraft, but we'll be able to indulge and ladder a little bit of StarCraft. Otherwise, thanks for watching. And again, you can follow us on all the socials. We post whenever we go live, so Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, Blue Sky, Mastodon. All things Cranky Ducklings. Again, we upload VODs on a daily basis over on YouTube, so YouTube is the place to be. If you want to support us monetarily, you can do so via Patreon. Our Patreon is designed to fund our tournaments, so 100% of the money on Patreon goes towards our tournaments. It goes towards Tuna Cup, SDO, and MSO as well. So all that money goes towards the players. So if you want to support the scene, if you want to support the players, you can do so via Patreon. Eventually, we'll reach a goal. We can start playing casters and admins. But for now, it's all towards the prize pool. So you can support the players there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. And we'll see you tomorrow for some more casting, as we have a big day tomorrow with 3 events back to back. Or I'll see you in a couple of minutes for some ladder, for some StarCraft. See you then. Gaha.